guys, welcome back to another video on the channel today. We're back on Iracing with an MX5 race, back on the Okayama track which we produced a very good race with a while back. That was in a series which allows setups. This is the series that doesn't allow setups, so this was our first race on this track. We had done about 10 minutes practice, and because I knew the track I didn't really need much practice with it being default setup, but you see the lap times are probably about half a second off, but we managed an okay lap of a 1:46.4 which got us second on the grid. So starting the race straight away, this race was a great battle. I haven't seen this race for a while. I've been very busy for the last 2 weeks. I've not been able to get any uploads done or nothing, so I'm watching this race pretty much fresh for myself as well, so I'm not 100% sure what's going to happen in this race, and all I know is it was a really good battle, and it was a four-way battle for the lead. So you can see there we're battling straight away from the start. We were going for first place, and we got the left hand side, although that's not the best position to be in going into this right hand corner up above, although you can hang it round the outside if you brake very late. You can see there the guy in second place braked very early, and we managed to brake later and actually got into the inside line and got ourselves into the lead on lap one. You can see there's clean driving behind us, no real crashes or incidents behind us. You can see everyone seems to have got through the first corner, looking in the top right there very cleanly. I haven't seen the replay footage yet from this, looking back there, because I recorded it without myself watching at the time. I went back through to the replay and recorded it. You can see there everyone really clean there in the MX5, and working our way through to complete this first lap. I haven't done much driving in the MX5 recently because I've got a lot of new content for this game now, so I'm just practicing at the moment, getting myself in a position where I feel I can be a bit more competitive, and then I'll show you guys a bit more footage from that. We've definitely got the GT3 car a little bit better, although I don't think I've got the most competitive car at the moment for this season, although the season's about to end now. At the moment I've bought myself the Mercedes AMG GT3, although for this season I think the McLaren was very much the car to have, but we've done okay with this Mercedes. I think we've had a lot of bad luck. It's took me a while to get my head around making sure I've got all the settings right for pit stops, etc. But anyway, you can see now the battle, looking second place right on our tail there going into turn one. I took an early line there just so he wouldn't think about throwing up the inside. So at the moment I'm trying to drive defensive whilst trying to keep maintaining speed again, because there's four cars in this little train we've got going on there. You can see there four cars pretty much in the battle, and then there's a little bit of a gap to fifth place, but another great battle that's going on here now. And going into this right-hander, and he looks up the inside, and I was going to leave him the space there because I didn't know if he was just going to throw it up the inside, but it looked like he had the decency not to just dive bomb it there, and we kept the line and kept the corner. So again, going to the right-hand side, this is how I do my defence on this track. You just go as far to the right-hand as possible. If you're using the shifter, you should be safe, because by the time you get to the braking point, you should be able to brake reasonably late. But I think I don't know if he got around the outside here or not. You can see he's gone around the outside, but I've held it on the inside and he's still got the inside line, so I'm having to give him a bit of space. He's still on the inside, and you can see there we're side by side going through them corners. I'm having to hold the outside line now, very close there through that corner, and we're both side by side, but I managed to get a very good exit on that corner. I think he got a little bit of rear sliding going through that corner, and he's actually put himself under pressure from third place. So we managed to hold on to the lead still. Great battling going on through them corners then side by side, and then going into this the lap 3 I think we're approaching now, and you can see there's still four cars in the battle for this lead. I think myself and the guy in second place could have pulled a little bit of a lead out if we weren't battling so hard. I remember at the time I was thinking if we could just get a bit of like cushion between myself and second, we'd probably pull away. You can see there everyone's still pretty close. Fifth place has dropped back a fair bit. You can see they've dropped back a few seconds. You see everyone battling for this first corner now. We were battling for first, and then third and fourth were having a little battle as well to try and see who could take that last third spot there. And now going through to this left hander, we get a really nice turn in on that corner. It gives us a reasonably good exit, although the second place guy looked like he got massive traction coming out of that corner, and I'm just gone to the right to cover the inside again, just because I'd rather have the inside tight line on this corner than try and keep it tight. You can see there we go tight. He tries to go wide and cut back. He's actually got the inside there, so I can't cover that corner. I can't cover the right hand side off now. So going into the braking zone, I'm going to have to pretty much concede this corner. I think I conceded it, although I probably did, but knowing what I'm like, I probably would have battled it right to the edge and tried my hardest to hold it around the outside. But we're going to have a little look now. Looking in the top right, you can see he's got a head there. We break very late, try and hold it around the outside. We have a little look, see if we manage it. Back end goes a little bit loose, and we're actually under pressure from third place now. But I managed to hold that inside line and get the car back over, and we've got second place still covered. So now we've got to concentrate on getting that lead back. And again, a great little battle on this MX5. It always produces a good race around this track, I find, driving the MX5. It's very rare I get a bad race on this track. It's always enjoyable. You know, it seems like the track's quite wide, so it gives a lot of space for this car to battle it out and have fun trying to get that lead back. So you can see now, the actual leader actually pulled away a bit here now. I think he was really going for it through these corners, but normally I'm quite good on this last corner, so I can get on the power quite early, and as long as you're getting in the slipstream, you can normally just pull yourself back into the leader. So you can see now, again, all four of us very close over the line, not much in it at the moment. I think there's not even a second and a half between the top four, and I just wanted to try and concentrate and stay in his toe for a bit and get back up to that point where I can pull an overtake off. So going through his left hand, his back end went a little bit loose there, looking up through that, and not much time gained on him there. Don't think we really gained anything on him, but we were getting very close again. So going into this right-hander, again, this is the best place you're going to get an overtaking opportunity, so I wanted to get as close as I could to him there to get in his slipstream, just to reel ourselves back in, because this part of the track is where you get the most slipstream, I find. Obviously the start straight and this part, you seem to get a real big slipstream going down the straight, and you can get yourself back into the really strong slipstream that you get if you're right behind someone. So you can see now, fourth place looks like he's dropping off a bit, but as soon as we all start battling again, we're all going to be very close again. So holding it tight in on that side, trying to get the car back over to the right hand side so I can swing it back into this left hand and then use some of the curb on the right. Again, they're using some of the curb. I actually got a time to one, I think, there, but I wasn't really worried about any safety rating at this point. When I'm in a race like this, I don't care about my safety rating. I just want to race and have fun. So if I get times 4, 5, 6, I'm really not bothered. It doesn't interest me, the safety rating. I'm all about having more fun on the game. So you can see now we're right behind. We managed to get ourselves really close now going into this end of this lap, and then going down the start straight. There's always an overtaking opportunity if the guy doesn't get the last corner perfectly done. So you can see there, he's done it reasonably well, but we've done that very nice as well, and we're right in the toe. This is the place where you start getting quite a strong toe. We're heading off. But I think I might have had a little look there, but obviously I knew that wasn't. I was just trying to make him think I might have dived in, trying to get him to outbrake himself. You know, have a little look just before the corner, tuck back in, just to see if you can get him to maybe make a little mistake and brake a little bit later than he should, just trying to defend the line. You can see we got real nice pull from that corner. We actually ran wide again there. Actually, I think that's our first. Is that our first time penalty? So we mustn't have got one before. So we're not doing too bad at this stage. Going into the right hander now, we're very close. So I know there's going to be an if I can get this corner done really nicely, there should be an overtaking opportunity going into the next right hander. So we're very close here now. He's going to go defensive by the looks of it. So we're going to go in his slipstream, and the only way we're going to get a pass is by chucking it around the outside and trying to hold the outside line, although he's actually gone back to the defensive line. I was thinking about it there, but I thought better of it. I thought, I'm not going to launch that down the inside. A lot of people have done it to myself. I don't want to risk that one. I'll just stay at another lap, see how close I can get to him, and try and find a better opportunities to do an overtake. So again, we're very close going through to this last section of the lap, and we have the back end going massively there. We caught that just about, a scary moment, but we managed to save it, and we didn't actually lose too much time. So going into this real tight left and then tight right hander, it's somewhere where I don't particularly have much speed. I kind of lose a bit of time through this section here. I think I go too tight, but he had a massive moment there, and I'm on the right hand side of him. I had a massive moment also, trying to hold the right hand side now, seeing if I can hold it. I managed to hold it, staying nice and tight, but then I'm gonna have to give up that position because I can't stay on that right hand side while he's there, because I'd risk probably taking him out. And you can see third and fourth place is right on our tail now, so there's 4 cars all in one screenshot there, all trying to get each other's toe. I'm going to go to the right hand side because he's obviously gone down the right, and then I'm going to have to swing it back over. I was thinking about looking down that right hand side, but I thought there's just no way. It's just going to end in a crash. So just concentrate on the track and trying to get your lines right, because there's going to be another overtaking move come possible if I can just hold this line, because I'm so close to the guy in front, you can see there. So again, this is what, now I was thinking to myself, I've just got to get this right-hander is the key to getting an overtake done on this track. You've really got to get it nailed. So trying to get as close to him as possible, getting his slipstream. I think he actually braked a bit too, he kind of braked then braked again there, so maybe he got his braking wrong, and it's give us an opportunity to get very close now. So we're going to go into his slipstream, and he's covering that right hand side. I don't know if he's going to cover the left hand side now, I can't remember whether he does, but it looks like we've got the left hand side, so we're going to try and brake extremely late, see how late we can brake it into this final corner, and see if we can hold that outside line. It's an extremely hard place to do a move, because you've got to hold the outside, and there's not much chance we got there of making that move. So we're getting back over to the right hand side and trying to get the car so we can swing it through these corners, because you can sometimes, if you can swing it through the second part of this corner here now and get a good exit, you can sometimes throw one down that left hand side. But again, we're not close enough really. We're gonna have a little look, but no, we're just trying to make him a little bit scared as usual. I just, like I say, sometimes having a little look just to put a little bit of pressure on them, make them maybe brake a few feet later and outbrake themselves. It's always worth having a little look, especially when you're as close as we are now. So going into, I think it's lap 7, coming up to lap 7 in a minute, with 4 cars all in one shot. You can see 5th place has dropped quite a way back there. You can see, I think the gap is, it looks like it's about 5 seconds behind this battle going on. You might see him popping in the rear there. You can see 5th place just popping in there and 6th place behind him there. But top 4 covered by about a second there, I think, at the most at the moment. So extremely close racing going in. I think that this was, obviously, I think this was the end of the start of week 11. This shows you how long I've not been able to do any uploads for at the moment. But like I say, I'm going to try and get back to more uploads with some, obviously now I've got the better cars, I've got a lot more content. I'm going to do a little video showing you guys what content I've managed to get now for this game. I'm going to probably get a little bit more with the new Ferrari that's going to be released. I think I'm going to buy the Ferrari 488 GTE. We'll be buying a few more tracks so that we can race most of the IMSA tracks, obviously weeks, and GT3 and the Porsche 911. So we're not going to be able to do every track within this next season, but if I can do like 8 or 9 in each one. You can see there, going down the inside, we managed to brake very late. Now I've got to try and hold that inside line and give myself the left hand line for this corner, now left hand side for this corner. So you can see there, he's actually backed out of the corner and we're back in the lead. We've only 3 or 4 laps to go now, so we've got to try and hold this lead right to the end and see if we can just keep the win. I really wanted to win on this time because I lost out last time. You would have seen the video if you've watched that last one, when we were in the production car championship. We lost out on the lead on the last lap, so at the moment I was just thinking I've got to hold this lead and try and keep myself in the lead. I mean, I think he's a reasonably fast driver, the guy that was behind us at the point there. I don't know where he was in the championship. We were at this point, we were up to 10, but I haven't bothered racing Laguna Seca on week 12 because I've been practicing with a lot of the other cars. You can see there I went to go defensive but realised I couldn't do it because he was down the right hand side, so I had to brake extremely late here and see if I could hold him off around the outside. So I braked very late, give him the inside line, still giving him space, giving him room to just keep that line, because I wanted to keep myself on the left hand side for this corner, because if you keep yourself on the left hand side, he's not going to be able to make the move. You can see nearly 3 wide going through that corner as the 3rd place guy got involved with that as well. And we just about managed to keep the lead through holding that left hand line. It's something that I do try and do. Brake late, hold the left hand side, and then you've got the inside line for that corner coming up. So again, got to try and hold the try and defend it down this straight now. We managed to get okay pull out of that corner. It's one thing, if you do run wide, you do tend to carry a bit more speed through that corner. So it looks like I don't need to go massively defensive, so I go to have a little look as if I'm going to go defensive and get back into the line. You can see 4th place looks like he's making a move on 3rd there also. It looks like he's going to try and brake very late, but I braked very late as well. Just about managed to stop the car and get on the power, and looks like I'm going to be very close to losing the position. But again, as long as you've got the left hand line for this corner, you should be okay. It looks like he got quite a good run out there, and I just about managed to keep the position. I thought he was going to throw it down that left hand side there. You can see I went to go defensive, but I didn't need to in the end. So still keeping 1st place. And again, you can just see how close all 4 of these cars are. I mean, probably one of the closest races I've had in terms of all 4 being so close. But it's a track that you do tend to get very close racing on, because the way the slipstream brings everyone back into play when you're battling, and when you're trying to defend on this track, you tend to lose quite a lot of time. so your lap times will drop by about a second, so it brings everyone back closer together. But you see we're going over the line, starting, I think this is the start of lap 9 now. So we've got, I think it's just 2 laps left, and we've just got to try and hold it for these last 2 laps. You can see he went to make a move there. I went to go for the line because I didn't think he was going to do it, and it looked like he was going to lunge it, but luckily I think he thought better of it, and we managed to just keep our line nice and tidy through that corner, and then just concentrate on trying to keep this lead. You can see in the top right hand corner on the TV cameras just how close we're battling now. You can see he's gone down the left hand side. I've got to try and hold it on the inside now, brake late but keep it tight. That's the key now. Brake as late as I can but try and keep a nice tight inside line. So as long as I hold the inside there, you can see there I think he actually tapped our bumper, but it wasn't deliberate. It was just the fact that I wanted to hold the inside line, which is just to hold the inside going down this straight. That's the key. I didn't want to give up this position, so trying to hold the inside line down this straight now, and he looks like he's gonna throw it down the left, but there's a car on his left as well, and he's braked extremely late there. It looked like he was trying to lunge for the lead, and he's actually gone slightly off the track, and he's lost third place. You can see there in the TV cameras he's threw it all away and given himself a loss of position, but it's actually helped us out slightly. That give me a little bit of a cushion going into this corner now, because how close that was getting, it would have been very close going into this left hand. You can see I've covered that off to make sure he doesn't launch that down that inside, and now again he's gone for that wide line to drive and give himself a real good pull out of this corner. We got a back end very loose through there, we've gone wider, just kept the foot down. Luckily I managed to get it lost the back end, but I managed to catch it and keep the inside line. So we're still in the lead there, and second place is having to defend strongly from third place now going into the final lap. This is a big help for myself now, because he's going to have the guy trying to overtake him, so I've just got to concentrate on keeping my lines clean, and hopefully he'll get held up a bit by the guy behind him and having to drive defensive. So now I was just trying to concentrate on just trying to keep it smooth, not overdrive the car. I didn't want to pull off a lap record or anything. I just wanted to keep it clean, just keep it on the track, but just maintain okay speed. You can see there we did that corner reasonably well, and we've managed to keep a little bit of a gap to ourselves, and this is where I wanted to make sure there was a gap going into this right hander and then coming onto that back straight, as that's the place you're going to lose a position on this track. So just keeping it nice and tight, keeping it in third gear, getting on the power as early as I can, and it looks like we just about got enough cushion there between ourselves and second place, and it actually looks like the guy in second place had more of a issue with defending his position. If anything, he's having to stay in my toe to make sure the guy behind can't pull a move off, so that's reasonably good for myself. I knew he wasn't going to launch it down that inside, and we brake a little bit later than we'd like, but managed to hold a reasonable line there. And then going into these left hand, there's always a tricky corner running wide here and trying to keep your speed. You can see the back end can just kick out on you at any time there, and also this left hander can be very risky if you make a little mistake in putting the power down. So going into the final few corners now, we're just about in the lead, and it's been a great battle between 4 of us there. You can see we're only separated by, last time over the line, by just over a second out of 10 laps, which is great racing. This car does tend to give you great racing, and you can see now it looks like we're going to take the win, because we've got a nice cushion to ourselves and the guy behind. Going down, not trying to go too fast around this corner, just trying to keep it nice and clean, and then going down the straight, and we're going to take the win for a nice victory and a bit of a nice feeling, considering the race we had last time when we lost the first place on the last lap. So we take the win, and the top 4 separated by 1.2 seconds. Great battle and great racing. I really enjoyed that one. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll be back with a lot more iRacing content and Assetto Corsa, and also hopefully some more Project Cars in the future when Project Cars 2 is coming nearer. Thanks again for watching, guys.